The year is 1974, and Charles Honorton put two people in separate rooms to find out if humans had telepathy. A sat like this, while B watched TV. After 30 minutes, Honorton asked A what B was watching. If A got it right, then psi, aka telepathy, exists. This was the 1974 Ganzfeld Experiment, and it lasted for 8 years, with a total of 44 participants. Watching this video 50 years in the future, you can already guess what the results were. Nevertheless, these pseudo-scientific investigations are insightful in some ways. In 1982, Charles Norton presented his findings in front of the Parapsychological Association, saying that psi exists. Here are my findings. Read this if you don't believe me. They didn't. Ray Heyman, a psychologist present at the time, reviewed the paper and found so many flaws that he had to categorize them into 12 different categories. Sometimes A could hear what B was watching. Sometimes the experiments conducted just had biases in them. So Heyman refined the procedures and others repeated the experiments, but the scientific community has yet to recognize any of these findings. Since everyone has been failing so far, is it even possible to prove psi's existence? Enter the psi paradox. On screen is the original phrasing. Basically, when experiments are run by scientists, they break, because the people running the experiments have their own telepathy and can just influence the results whenever they intend or unintentionally do it. So everything is worthless. Trying to understand the original experiments is also hard because the papers aren't available online. Basic information like how many times was A right and what was B watching can't be answered. So instead of ending the video right here, I'm turning to fiction. Game studios by Crunchsoft ran several Ganzfeld experiments in their video game series Zero Escape. In November 2018, Cradle Pharmaceutical CEO Gentaro Hongo and his team kidnapped 9 pairs of siblings and divided them into 2 groups, G and Q. Q was placed in a fake ship, while G was placed in a real sinking ship. Everyone's goal was simple, to escape the ship alive. Hongo hypothesized that psi was enhanced under 2 conditions, epiphany and danger. To test this, he needed to put the children under mortal danger, hence the sinking ship. To prevent the children from just walking to the lifeboats, puzzles were installed in between them and their safety, hence epiphany. To facilitate telepathy, everything was the same, except one was actually on a ship and one was in a building. The idea was that the ones in the building were supposed to transmit their solutions to the ones in the sinking ship, so they could just all escape. If this actually happened, the scientific community would go crazy because of the moral implications and because it might be undeniable proof of psi. While this does solve informational leaks between facilities, escape is not a true measurement of psi. It just means the kids were smart, or they just made it out alive. We'll never be able to look into the brain and see what is going on. You can't just say, here are some flashing neurons, this is indicative of psi. That just doesn't work that way. So, will we ever be able to prove psi's existence? It might be just another phenomenon in pseudoscience, or a proven theory in a few hundred years if someone managed to figure it out. But for now, telepathy does not exist, and the experiments attempting to prove otherwise have a long way to go.